Okay, you ready, Logan?
Let's do it.
Very good. Okay, we're going to go live in three, two, one. Welcome to another episode of Our Story, where we connect our community one story at a time. I'm very pleased to announce we got a very special guest in the house today. His name is Logan Abrego, and he is an entrepreneur. He's a culinary artist. He started his own business called Sports and Retro. Real interesting story, real interesting gentleman. We're going to welcome Logan Abrego to the show. Welcome, Logan.
Hi, Edwin. Good afternoon.
Well, thank you for taking some time to come on the show today, Logan. You know, you've got such an
Sure.
incredible story, especially for being such a young guy. We worked in a country club. You did some culinary work, and then you decided to kick off your own business. How about you just share a little bit more about how you came to get going and start your own business? Go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, I started my business from a hobby. It just kind of grown and it grew and blossomed, and I'm really happy to kind of the point where it's at today and excited for the future of it. You touched on I was a head chef at the Moore Country Club. Um, that was kind of my first passion and kind of what made me realize that you can be self-taught and you can pretty much do whatever you want to do in this day and age with the internet and all that stuff, all the
Is
tools that you are provided.
Isn't that the truth? It's so incredible how much freedom we have and how much technology has been able to help us and how much information that's out there. As we've got this thing here that is probably the most powerful library and classroom right in our pocket, isn't it? The internet. And that is really the core of your business too, Logan. Is it? Tell us a little bit more about sports and retro and what it is that you do, what is it you sell, where is it based out of, and go ahead, Logan.
Awesome. That's an interesting point that you brought up the cell phone thing. I can pretty much do my entire business through my cell phone, which is wild. Right now, Sports and Retro is located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We source and sell vintage clothing from the 90s and early 2000s. My passion in vintage clothing is sports related stuff, whether that be NFL, MLB, basketball, hockey. I love all that stuff. And then that kind of grew over into collecting things that are from like my childhood, like late 90s TV shows, cartoons, all that stuff I find really interesting. And it just so happens to come at a time where that kind of stuff is really popular in society right now. Um, so the bulk of our business is done online. I do sell locally and personal to personal friends, people through Facebook Marketplace. Um, Most of our sourcing is done through local thrift stores. And I think that's really cool because it's a way to, number one, repurpose items that someone deemed that they didn't want anymore. And two, I think it's a great way to support the local community. Um, those local charities use that money for a lot of good. Um, One of my favorite thrift stores in Fargo is the Arc Attic Treasures, and they support kids with Down syndrome. I think that's a really neat cause. So anything like that, I love shopping locally, just because that money goes right back into the community, and that's a win for everyone.
Yeah, I mean that is so inspirational and such a good cause as you're repurposing the product. You know, it's used. It's everything that you do is used, and everything you sell is
Mm-hmm.
used. And so it's interesting too how you're sourcing it. Is that it's not being sourced from let's say a new manufacturer overseas or something like that. It's actually sourced right here locally, and it's used repurposed clothing. And then those revenues that are go that come out of those sales actually go back to a lot of nonprofits. And so it's a really interesting, really good cause that you're supporting, and it's creative, incredibly creative how you've structured the business plan, the business model. So I want to ask you, Logan, do you have a business education? Like, did you go to college for business, or what's some of your background?
So this is kind of a fun story as well. I ended up in Moorhead. Um, I attended Minnesota State University, Moorhead, and I was actually had no clue what I wanted to do when I started off in college. Then I kind of found that I was kind of a really good at writing, all that stuff. So I ended up in advertising actually. So I graduated with an advertising degree from MSUM. Um, while I was at MSUM, I started cooking and learning about that stuff. Um, so I kind of split my energies to those two different things. And it's kind of funny seeing those worlds combined, because just hearing it, you'd think they have nothing to do with each other. Um, and then you kind of incorporate this passion that has turned into more than just a passion, and it kind of ties everything together. The stuff that I did learn at MSUM, stuff like social media, photo editing, video making, is stuff that I do on a daily basis now to operate this business.
Wow. So just to bridge all those connections from being at MSUM to, or was it M State?
Uh, MSUM, yep.
MSU. I'm sorry. Yeah, MSUM to culinary art, from advertising to culinary art to now to an online retail using used and repurposed clothing. I mean, that is incredible as you're able to connect all those dots and kind of bridge all those gaps there. You know, one of the things that we're working on here with the campaign in moving District 4A forward here in Minnesota is a program that I'm proposing called YEP, and it's the Young Entrepreneurial Program. And the idea is that we would train and equip and empower high school students to be able to start their own business once they graduate high school. And so wouldn't necessarily funnel them directly into post-secondary four-year university like MSUM, but it's not for everybody, but it'd be for those people who have that entrepreneurial spirit to be able to launch right away, right out of high school, and equip them with the skills and ideas and capability strategies to be productive right out of high school, right out into the workforce. You know, what are your thoughts on that, Logan? Is that something that you might have been interested in as a high school student, or what are your thoughts on that idea?
That's amazing. I love that idea. You're right. Further education isn't for everyone, as well as kind of that this entrepreneur program isn't going to be for everyone either. But there's a good portion of kids that are going to thrive in that environment, and that kind of training, empowerment is really going to speak to them and motivate them to do great things, and it'll kind of inspire them on kind of their life path. So I think that's a very cool idea. And it's something that entrepreneurial spirit isn't really touched a whole lot on, just because there's so many other things in the traditional school environment that are important as well.
Right. But there are those people like yourself who've really got that spirit that needs to be cultivated. We're kind of missing that piece in the high school level. Anyways, that's what I think.
Absolutely.
And so you think it would be beneficial for you if you had encountered a program like that when you were in high school?
For sure. Anything hands-on that you can take and see and do at that level is going to be an amazing opportunity. You can read about stuff, watch videos and stuff, but it's never going to be the same as just jumping in and doing it. Jumping in and doing it,
yeah,
is going to crush a lot of years, and it's crazy how far that's going to move you.
Isn't that the true entrepreneurial spirit? Is just get out and start doing it, and that's experiential education. You know, that's really where you learn practical, completely deployable skills. So that's an awesome lesson, Logan. You know, I met you last fall, and when I was running for city council, and we just had a really brief conversation. But one of the things that and that's how we connected while you were in Moorhead. And so I thought to myself, hey, Logan, you know, I see your ads on Facebook for sports and retro all the time. And I'm going to reach out to him and see how he's doing. You know, his voice is important being in the Moorhead community. But when I reached out to you, I learned that just, 2 weeks ago, you moved from Moorhead to Sioux Falls. So tell me a little bit about what it's like, the difference in the business climate between Moorhead and Sioux Falls, and some of the things maybe related to taxes and income and what have you. Why don't you share a little bit about the differences? Go ahead.
For sure. So I ended up in Sioux Falls to be with my girlfriend. And I decided it was a good opportunity to kind of take the business down here and kind of start my life with her. So Sioux Falls is in a unique place because there is no state income tax in South Dakota. And there's also no corporate income tax in South Dakota as well.
Wow.
So South Dakota is an amazing place for a business to be. And any time that you can say, you know, that's a financial benefit that you can't deny. And I think that's something that's hard to find. Obviously, there's the property taxes are higher, stuff like that, than they would be in Minnesota, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that, you know, one of the things that we're working on, we're developing here with the campaign and moving District 4A forward in Moorhead is supporting and growing and empowering, equipping our small business owners and really revitalizing our business climate that is in a depression right now. So making our border city competitive with communities like Sioux Falls or communities like Fargo. We're proposing in the campaign, a piece of our platform to be a reciprocity tax or a reciprocity program to allow, for example, a competing city like Fargo to have reciprocity with Moorhead. So Moorhead would adapt the less restrictive or less burdensome tax policies or regulation policies that the border city might have. And this would be a pilot program, a model program, but you're a great example of, unfortunately, a small business owner who was doing very well, who decided to make a transition, amongst other things, chasing love, but also looking at the financial benefits of going to South Dakota with no income tax and no corporate tax. That's incredible. I mean, that's a pretty big jump there, but obviously, you know, gotta go where it makes more sense for you, Logan. So it's an interesting tale. Well, Logan, you know, we just got a few more minutes on the call, and I just want to give you an opportunity to share with the community what it is you think that the community needs to hear right now in this time with whatever's going on or whatever things that you want to talk about. I just want to give you that space to go ahead and share your message. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, Edwin. I just would like to encourage people to go out and do it. Could be anything. Like, you might have something that you've been saying for years. I wish I could do this. I want to do that. Stop talking about it and let's do it. Like, if you want to learn how to wood burn, start Googling wood burn designs, YouTube a video, how to wood burn, wood burning 101, anything like that. It doesn't have to be business related. It can be like a hobby. It can be a language. It can be cooking something. It can be literally anything you want to do. Just go ahead and do it. And it's okay if you're going to fail. I've failed cooking hundreds of things. But without that failure, I wouldn't have succeeded at cooking thousands of things. So I think it's a great philosophy to just do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to Logan Abrego. Stop talking about it and just do it. Well, we do thank you, Logan, for spending some time to share your story on Our Story. And we look forward to having you again on sometime soon.
Thank you very much, Edwin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Logan Abrego with Sports and Retro. And if you like a shirt, the shirt that I'm wearing right now, you can find something like this trendy pink flamingo shirt on Logan's business page. It's buyvintageclothes.com. That's buyvintageclothes.com. If you enjoyed this content, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe. We'd love to have you as a guest on the show. Just send us an email. It's edwinforhouse@gmail.com. That's edwinforhouse at gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day.